Ndị be anyị ekenekwa unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị nke taata nụwa bụ ụbọchị akara aka dịka o si dị asịrị n'ụtụtụ ọma ehihie ọma mgbede ọma site na ngalaba ebe isi were soro anyị na ya na-eme n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24 bụ ebe anyị si na-ewetara unu ya bụ ozizi anyị na-akpọ morning tea n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nketa ya bụ ife dịka anyị sikwu na nkwa anyị ga na-agbakwanụ mbọ dịka ike kwela anyị ka anyị na-enye unu daily update gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo a na gbasịta maka nwere ụwa a na-azọ dịka o si dị o nwere ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ anyị wetara unu sikwa unu tie alụ gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ọ gasịkwa ihe ndị ọzọ kwugasị mana anyị si mba na anyị ga-etinyekwuru unu ya ka unu ga ya bụ ife unu ga-esi ya unu adrọpụla anyị kọmentị unu ife unu chere gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ọsọ dịka ịbịa bụ ọ bụ na nke a bụ mbọsị izu gị na-ajọin anyị ka barụ ka isonyere anyị ihe anyị na-eme shia ya ka o rutekwa ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ aka alright ka gbapụ na ya ọsọ ịga igosi ya bụ ife aji maka ya wee bịa. Over to you, Biafran Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Over to you, sir.
That you have enough to benefit from the Biafra Bank, from the Bank of Biafra, especially using the digital currency, Biafra coin. There is what they call staking. The staking, the Bank of Biafra offers 18% interest in staking, while many platforms offers you, for example, as low as 5%. The Bank of Biafra is offering Biafra people 18%. And what it means is that as Naira has collapsed and crashed, the government of Biafra has provided an alternative to Biafra people. So you do not leave your money in Naira. As you buy Biafra coin, your money becomes stable. Any day you want to withdraw your money, you get your money withdrawn through the crypto system. For those of you who already are very conversant with cryptocurrency, you already know what to do by downloading a MetaMask. From MetaMask, you will have access to Biafra Bank. We have broken the jinx. The camel's back is broken. Fellow Biafrans, to cap with the progress we've made so far, Biafra Republic Government in Exile Cabinet met yesterday and voted for the establishment of the Ministry of Aviation of the United States of Biafra. I hereby wish to officially announce to the Biafra people the establishment of the Biafra Ministry of Aviation. Yesterday, the ministerial nominee to head the Ministry of Aviation was also voted and confirmed by the cabinet. Well experienced, a Biafran with many miles of flight, with experience in aviation industry, will be heading the Ministry of Aviation of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And may I introduce to Biafra people the name of the new Minister of Aviation of Biafra, Chidera Okeoma, has been appointed as the Minister of Aviation of the United States of Biafra. A very promising young Biafran who has distinguished himself honorably in his field of endeavor. My fellow Biafran, the achievement of this government within just 1.5 years is becoming a mystery. But because Biafra people have suffered for decades, and God has decided to reward your suffering, your subjugation with this present government of Biafra that is taking you home to freedom. My fellow Biafran, as you all know, the Biafra Ministry of Justice were established and a new minister also has been appointed. Well experienced young Biafran, very young lady, in the name of Jane Iwunze. Jane Iwunze has been appointed, confirmed by the cabinet as the Minister of Justice. Fellow Biafrans, as we are making this progress, there are a lot of sacrifice behind the scene. And the only thing you see is the result. I want to also use this opportunity to announce, as we are planning ahead of time to the Helsinki Convention of the Declaration of Restoration of Independence State of Biafra later this year, a committee called Helsinki Convention or Finland Convention Sponsorship Committee has been formed. The sponsorship committee have the Minister of Finance, Mazi Oge Nkri, as a member and the coordinator, Mazi Emma Madoabum as a member of the sponsorship committee, Mazi Maxwell Dede as a member of the sponsorship committee, Wada Amaka Baby Nadozie as a member of the sponsorship committee, Dr. Sam, the Minister of Health, as a member of the sponsorship committee, Dr. Ofoma, member of the Health Department, as a member of the sponsorship committee, Harry, as a member of the sponsorship committee, Mazi Ohimiri from South Africa as a member of the sponsorship committee. Fellow Biafrans, opportunity is still knocking at your own door. The committee is still welcoming those interested in sponsoring, being part of the sponsorship of the Biafra Finland Convention 2024. My fellow Biafran, as you all know, we plan ahead of time, just like we do in the Western world. On this note, the Declaration Drafting Committee of the Biafra Finland Convention 2024 will be headed by Dr. Bryson Okoma. Dr. Bryson is the head of Economic Viability Team of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. There are many people from all over Biafra land, from over 40 states of the United States of Biafra, that will be part of the drafting committee, the Declaration Drafting Committee. You all will be added gradually to the committee headed by Dr. Bryson Okeoma. My fellow Biafrans, This week, we are mourning. Our land were invaded, our people were killed and butchered in Delta, in Old Delta State, and in Bayelsa by the terrorist state of Nigeria, by the state-sponsored terrorist called Nigeria Army. They invaded a community, killed, burned, destroyed houses and properties of innocent people. The Biafra government, we are mourning the lost ones. Our condolences goes to the family who have lost their loved one in the hand of Nigeria. We condemn this attack, invasion, and genocide against our people, a targeted ethnic cleansing in strongest term. Condemning is not enough. Biafra people will revenge the killing in Delta and Bayelsa. This is the reason we've made sure that the terrorist Boko Haram controlled Nigeria Army will not be welcome in Biafra territory. And this has further validated our fear and our position. First, they came unprovoked and provoked the people of Biafra. They killed, and when the people retaliated, they lost some people, and it becomes an issue. Nobody is asking question. What transpired? What were the military doing in a peaceful community? Nobody asked those questions. They went and killed because they believe that those people in the area probably are telling them that they are not part of Biafra. I am telling you today, the area where these people were killed, where the military killed women and children in Delta, is part of Biafra. That place is under Biafra de facto government. And for that reason, we will give hell to the killers of Biafra people. Like I said, it is not enough to condemn the killings because this killing has been going on for decades. But the condemnation will come with action from the Biafra side. The action will continue to make sure anywhere you see anybody wearing army uniform and carrying gun, the person is a terrorist. You don't have any reason to wear Nigeria Army uniform in Biafra territory. Going forward, we have made this proclamation in the past, but believe me, the more days we see in this struggle, the more ruthless we become in protecting and defending our land. Therefore, in order to mourn our people and register our sadness and anger, on the 29th day of this month of March 2024, the entire Biafra land will be under lock and key. From Delta to Bayelsa, every road leading to these communities, every road leading to this state will be shut down. We will use this day to mourn the barbarism, the genocide, and ethnic cleansing sponsored by the Nigeria state as ordered by the drug lord called the president. We will tell them that Biafra you see yesterday is not the Biafra you see today. The government has come to stay and is taking responsibility to make sure that those who kill our citizens are dealt with decisively. On the 29th of March, which is Friday, everywhere will be shut down. I will use the opportunity to call those strong-head Biafrans to not fall a victim of the same killers who will be on the rampage on that 29th to look for who to kill in order to blame Simon Ekpa. If you get hit by them, we will not pity you. The best thing is for you to stay indoor, to register your anger against a terrorist state that kills its own citizen. The army that killed its own citizen is not the army to be proud of. They are terrorists. It could have been you. It could have been your community. It could have been your village. So because it is not your village this time, does not mean it is not going to be, it's going to be your village next day. It may be you the next day. It may be you next week. We must begin to speak in the very strongest term whenever this barbarism and ethnic cleansing in the name of whatever occurs and happen to us. We will fight in unison in as much as we continue to delegitimize Nigeria in Biafra territory. And they continue to tell you, why are you following Biafra? Today, none of those people will talk on your behalf. None of those people my fellow citizens domiciled all over the world, fellow Biafrans and friends, well-wishers today, a legitimate government is the one that flows from a recognized state as opposed to so many so-called government in exile. That is in reality a liberation movement. The good news today is that the Biafra Republic Government in Exile status has gone beyond a liberation movement under international law. As a result of the recognition from 5 different countries in Africa, which has never been withdrawn by those countries that recognized Biafra. This particular recognition made the status of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile not just a liberation movement, but a legitimate and a recognized government with a special status under international law. My fellow Biafrans, many experts on international law have opined that for an authority in exile to qualify as a government in international law, there are criteria which the government must meet and fulfill. We believe the Biafra Republic Government in Exile has met all those requirements. And I would like to take us a little bit on history. It is very imperative. Let's look at the precedents of history of government in exile. My fellow citizens, there are indeed precedents for government that achieve sovereignty during times of strife, obtained limited international recognition, went into exile, and were succeeded by declared exile government, and then eventually become independent and member state of the United Nations. I will take you to a journey of Slovakia. Slovakia was an independent state from 1939 to 1945. Slovakia was recognized by 29 different countries during that time. Following Slovakia's reintegration with Czechoslovakia in 1945. The former Interior Minister of Slovakia, Dukansky, set up a government in exile in 1947, which went through several transformations, just like the Biafra people today. As an exile government, the Liberation Committee was part of the Slovakia exile government, the Liberation Council, and finally the Slovak Congress, all advocating for independence, just like you have in the Biafra today. The same people, ironically, who went through this process today will tell you how Biafrans are not united, because we have different groups for the same goal, which is the freedom of Biafra. In 1992, independence was achieved by the legislation when Czechoslovakia ceased to exist. Slovakia in 1938 to 1945 was viewed by the Allied nation as a German puppet state. The various Slovakian exile government and committee were not recognized by any single country, though doubtably many doubted whether they are going to have their independence, but they achieved some sponsorship from the United States. That was during the Cold War. My fellow Biafrans, it is very imperative that you know the history of this world. How many people that you look up to today, many nations that you look up to today, they were there in the past. I will then take you to a history, the journey to Ukraine. Ukraine is again going through the second phase, the most brutal phase in the history of mankind. Ukraine was an independent state.
ndị be anyị daalụ nne kwunu si na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ dịka iso wee gee ya bụ ife ịnụrụ ihe the Balon the Gentle Lion kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taata anụ ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ ka efi nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile okwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ ife okwu oriri nne okwu ya dịka o si dị ka efi nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife a drop ya on the comment section below. Chetakwa na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si were wetara unu nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa. Daalụ n'ụmụnne.